Walt Burch is the co-founder and editor-in-chief of CaliforniaDebtRelief.org. With all the volatility as of late with the stock market and all the things that are going on with the economy, the presidential race, all kinds of things with news scares, Walt is here to try to make some sense of it. How about that for a heavy burden?
Well, yeah. Can you really make sense of it? You know, just recently we found out that the nation is faced with $1.1 trillion in consumer credit card debt.
Wow.
And that's
just
a big
consumer credit card debt.
Consumer credit card debt alone. And what's funny is the economy, the general indicators out there are fairly positive. We've heard that, and we know on the political end of the spectrum, everything's that's been talked about. But there is a quiet, sort of an insidious thing happening where consumers, more and more consumers, are in trouble. And a lot of it is being driven by, healthcare costs, and a lot of it's being driven by student loan debt. And those two things, when you add them up, and you've even heard them talk about on the political spectrum, that's it's a huge issue, and that's why it's being addressed. But right now, it's a big problem that's driving a lot of consumer debt. Those are the two primary drivers. And a lot of people feel victimized. They feel like they don't have a lot of power to take control and do things about it. So that's where we are right now. And obviously the stock market is feeling that as well, that together with coronavirus and everything else.
I know. The thing, it's interesting because you and I recall back in the day when the government decided to issue student loans, that this was a great gift to the student, that this was going to help educate young people and get them on the path to success, blah, blah, blah. Remember all of that? Yes. That was a big movement, kind of like what we hear now from the Democrats on a lot of the things that they're like free tuition and all that kind of stuff. The chickens have come home to roost, and those loans are saddling people with debt that they can't pay back.
Yes, yes. And I think a lot of the people, the careers that they pursue, the level of student loan that they accrue is just enormous. It's not like, oh, it's 10, 15, 20,000 a year. No, it's 80,000, 100. It's just insurmountable. So unless you're getting some sort of forgiveness because you're serving in an urban area or through something that the government looks favorably upon to help the economy, it's a really steep thing for a lot of people to overcome.
Yeah, by the way, that was a bipartisan, I remember, effort to get those student loan things. I mentioned the Democrats because that's what they're running on now, is the next level of that. Exactly. And so at some point, you look 10 years or 15 years down the road, if you look back, you go, that happened already. What's going to happen 15 years from now?
Exactly.
So how do people really deal with the situation that we're in now as it relates to debt and mortgages and all of the things that we seem to feel like we need?
Yeah. I think that, you just now said seem to feel what we need. We're definitely in a, this is a consumerism situation, and there's been a lot of aggressive marketing over the years by credit card companies to get credit cards in people's hands. And the way you deal with it is you can't feel victimized. I think a lot of people start to feel like, hey, the economy is going well. It seems like things should be healthy. Employment numbers are low. Right. Why is it that I'm working 2 jobs? Or why is it that we can't put food on the table all the time? Why can't we afford the things that everybody else seems to have? And I think one of the biggest things that keeps people in debt is that there's a certain amount of guilt and there's a certain amount of not wanting to talk about it. It's a private thing. And people come to us all the time and open up. Just got a note yesterday from a woman, our staff forwarded it to me, where she's got an 8-year-old and a 14-year-old, and she had perfect credit all of her life, and she has 3 cards, never had high limits. Suddenly a medical issue happened. Oh boy. It puts her over the top. So generally what we find is these are good people that want to do the honorable thing, but life happens. And it doesn't take much when you're in a precarious economic condition to put you over the top. So people do need to be prepared, but one of the things that we say on our sites is that what you have to do is you have to take control. There are things that you can do. People do not know it. They believe the credit bureaus are this monolithic thing that they have no control over. Credit card companies, the same thing. New laws give consumers so much more power than they can even imagine that they have. So we can talk about that, but it's a very important fact right now that consumers can be empowered.
Well, the name of your organization is California Debt Relief. So California is unique unto itself. I know there's debt all over the country, as you mentioned, but it's really expensive to live here, and people, in order to stay here, are running up debt that they just can't afford.
Yes, it is. It is just because of the sheer cost of housing. which we know is the biggest driver, one of the big drivers. Sheer cost of housing and healthcare, all these things make it a very expensive state to live in. Another thing, it's a very fluid economy where many people are starting businesses. So many of the people who I really consider heroes of the economy, and this may sound strange, actually have to use their credit.
Yeah.
They have to do things. They sometimes use their credit to pay their own expenses while they take care of their employees to start a new business.
Sure.
And there are these sub-stories happening in pockets all over California. And it's we're seeing the consumer situation now in terms of searches on Google, and things that we're seeing in trends are very similar to a kind of a quiet building of a disaster looming potentially that we saw back in 2007 and 8. It's not subprime mortgage, but it is an issue.
It's interesting, all the different markers that can come into play. All right, Walt Burch, the co-founder of the CaliforniaDebtRelief.org. Check him out if you want any information on what your situation may be at home. Great to have you here with us.
It's wonderful
Been
to be
a pleasure.
here. Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.